The White House has agreed to help fund November SNAP benefits to millions of Americans, but relief could take days or even weeks. And the California special election is just a day away. Your guide to navigating the November 4th polls. All that and more coming up on Headlines. Welcome to Headlines from LA Times Studios. I'm Faith Pinot in Washington, D.C. The Trump administration said Monday that it will partially fund food assistance programs through November. The announcement comes just days after two federal judges ordered the government to keep SNAP running during the shutdown. According to reporters, the USDA planned to freeze payments starting November 1st, saying it couldn't legally fund the program while the government was shut down. But rulings out of Massachusetts and Rhode Island now require the agency to use at least $5 billion in contingency funds to pay out the benefits. SNAP, which helps nearly 42 million Americans, or about 1 in 8 people, costs nearly $8 billion a month. The average recipients get around $190 in food aid, but this month they were told the well had run dry.
We're giving money away to foreign countries, and our people need to be fed here, now.
It's still unclear how much people will receive or when. Recharging those benefit cards take up to 2 weeks in some states. Judge John McConnell in Rhode Island gave the administration until Wednesday to issue payments and ruled that work requirement waivers for older adults and veterans may continue. President Trump said on social media he doesn't want the American people to go hungry and told lawyers to prepare payments as soon as possible. Meanwhile, food banks and state governments have been scrambling to fill the gap, and advocates warn that even short delays could leave millions choosing between groceries and rent. And on Tuesday, voters in California will have the chance to cast their ballot in the state's special election. It all centers on Proposition 50, a measure that would redraw congressional lines to favor Democrats in upcoming elections. According to Ronggong Lin, state officials recommend taking advantage of early voting, saying it can be helpful to avoid the rush on Election Day. In Los Angeles County, 251 vote centers are open today, Monday, from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m., and again on Tuesday from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. And you still have time to drop off a mail-in ballot. Just make sure it's postmarked Tuesday or it might not be counted. And if you forgot to register for Tuesday's special election, don't worry, you still have a chance. California allows same-day registration, which means you can head to the polls on Election Day, register on the spot, and cast a conditional ballot. Once officials verify your eligibility, your vote will count. For more information about how to find your nearest polling place or drop box, visit the California Secretary of State's website or your local county registrar of voters website. And two of Southern California's busiest airports were hit with major delays Sunday. According to Ronggong Lin, staffing shortages tied to the federal government shutdown grounded flights at LAX and San Diego International Airport. At LAX, average delays stretched past an hour, reaching nearly 90 minutes for flights taking off later in the evening. And in San Diego, delays hit around 80 minutes late Sunday night. The FAA confirmed the issue was staffing. Specifically, they said tower staffing in San Diego, with officials warning those delays could persist into Monday. Air traffic controllers are among hundreds of thousands of federal workers now going unpaid during the shutdown. They're still required to work, however, but they won't receive payback until Congress passes a budget deal. Take a listen to what Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy had to say about the staffing-related delays last week.
This year, on average, the delays that are associated with staffing triggers with air traffic controllers is 5%. On Sunday, 44% of the delays were because of staffing shortages. Yesterday, that number was 24%. So we're seeing the numbers move day by day in its location to location. We saw in the last couple of days LAX. We saw Atlanta. We've seen other airports as well. So we are seeing those problems.
The only airport with worse delays Sunday night was Newark Liberty in New Jersey, where departures were backed up for more than 3.5 hours. The FAA has warned that disruptions like this could continue nationwide if the shutdown drags on. And UK police charged the man who stabbed 11 people on a train over the weekend. According to reporters, 32-year-old Anthony Williams faces 10 counts of attempted murder, plus charges for assaulting an officer and carrying a knife. All 11 victims were taken to the hospital, but one, a member of the railway staff, remains in critical condition. Investigators say Williams attacked passengers on a train bound from Doncaster to London Saturday night. The chaos erupted just after a stop in Peterborough, and passengers described bloody victims running for safety down the aisles.
Yes, that it was horrible when you know that the train's still going, that there's no police helping you in the train. Obviously there wouldn't be, but I was hoping that the train would just stop and we could just leave. I felt claustrophobic because everyone's pushing in and we're trapped in the small kitchen area. B, there's a guy with a knife stabbing everyone and you don't know if you're going to be next or not.
Now, police believe Williams may have stabbed 2 other people in separate incidents earlier that same day. He was arrested when the train made an emergency stop in Huntingdon, just 8 minutes after the first 911 call was made. Authorities say this was not terrorism and that no other suspects are currently being sought out. The UK has some of the world's strictest gun laws, but knife crime remains a growing concern. Officials say stabbing-related deaths are down 20% this year, though Saturday's attack is a brutal reminder of how dangerous the weapons can be. And it's the final countdown in New York City's closely watched mayoral race, and the candidates are making their last push to get voters to the polls. Democrat Zohran Mamdani, former Governor Andrew Cuomo, and Republican Curtis Sliwa are spending the final hours before Election Day crisscrossing all 5 boroughs. Mamdani, a 34-year-old Democratic socialist, made national headlines when he beat Cuomo in the primary. If elected, he'd become New York's first Muslim mayor. He spent the last stretch posting viral videos, dancing with seniors, and reminding supporters of his mission to make the city more affordable. Cuomo, now running as an independent, is trying to rebuild his image, firing up his campaign 4 years after resigning as governor over sexual harassment allegations he denies. He's courting moderate and Republican voters, arguing he's the only one who can stop Mamdani. And Sliwa, the red beret-wearing founder of the Guardian Angels, is focusing on crime and safety, a message aimed squarely at the city's conservative voters. Early voting wrapped up Sunday with more than 700,000 ballots already cast. Now, polls open across New York City on Tuesday, with control of America's largest city on the line. And thousands of Dodgers fans flooded downtown Monday morning to celebrate the city's back-to-back World Series champs. The Dodgers championship parade kicked off around 11 a.m., rolling through the heart of downtown before wrapping up with a rally at Dodger Stadium. Several main roads are shut down for the event, including routes south from Chinatown and Cesar Chavez Avenue and areas west of Spring Street and east of the 110 freeway. Metro officials are urging fans to take the train, with 7 stations located conveniently near the parade route. This 2025 Dodgers team has been a bright spot for the city after a tough year, from devastating wildfires in January to federal immigration sweeps over the summer. But today, the focus is pure celebration, after an epic Game 7 win over the Toronto Blue Jays sealed their 2nd straight title, making LA once again a city of champions. That's it for now. To read these stories and more, be sure to subscribe to the Los Angeles Times.